Living in today's expanding world, our lifestyles demand the use of energy in many different forms, including fossil fuels like oil and coal. The excessive use of these fuel sources causes overconsumption and pollutes the environment. By making society aware of the inefficient use of energy present in today's world and finding new ways to conserve energy, together we can paint a brighter future.
The problem in today's world lies in our frivolous use of precious energy sources and our lack of conservation. The world is filled with renewable energy which comes from natural resources such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, and geothermal heat, things that are naturally replenished. These are valuable resources that are often overlooked in today's world, overshadowed by the typical fossil fuels that are overconsumed and create a serious pollution problem.
Right now, our world's population is about to reach 7 billion people. Those 7 billion people need stuff, not just stuff to live, but some stuff to make their life a little bit more luxurious. And with all the production and manufacturing of things and goods that we need, the world's kicking out about 38 billion tons of CO2 per year. Again, all this CO2 output comes from production, use of, and then even back into disposal as well. And we have toxic events and releases happening all the way through the chain. Materials get into the water system because it's a giant landfill, so when water percolates through the trash, it can get into land systems, and there's usually protective layers underneath it, but sometimes leaks can happen, overflows can happen, floods can happen where water can overspill a landfill, and then that gets into our water systems. And most water systems are able to clean this stuff up, but other poor communities or rural areas don't have the complex water treatment centers to get out this stuff. Because once water reaches the system, it can go back into our regular groundwater, it can flow into another city's groundwater or surface water, and not only hurt people, but the living systems, trees, plants, animals that live within that surrounding area as well.
There are easy ways to preserve the environment. Simple acts like carpooling and public transportation reduce the use of petroleum, as sharing rides cuts down on the amount of gas used. Planting trees and recycling cuts down CO2 in the atmosphere, producing more oxygen and reducing waste. Doing all that we can to help now can make a big difference later on.
So what awaits us in the future? What problems will arise in the coming years? We really don't know, but what we do know is the modern scientists and environmentalists are working hard to come up with new technologies, working toward a more efficient world. Extensive research is already being put into new wind generator technologies. Wind is a clean source of renewable energy that produces no harmful emissions. Research shows that some generators produce enough electricity to supply about 600 U.S. homes. If we were to locate and continue to build more of these machines, industry experts predict that by 2050, the answer to 1/3 of the world's electricity needs will be produced from wind energy. Solar energy is the technology to harness the sun's power and use it. This is a renewable and reoccurring resource, as the sun is constantly producing light.
Solar technology nowadays is on the rise. Efficiencies have gone up about 20%, but still it's very low compared to what our energy demands are needed by the average business or resident.
Most likely because the price of these technologies is so high. What can happen when we go even further into the future? Multiple sources say that someday our world will be able to have 100% green cities. As more and more efficient innovations enter our world, we are able to mold the planet into a greener place to be. But now is the time that we should set our sights on cleaning up and being more energy efficient. In an increasingly technological world, more and more energy is being used, and more waste is being produced as a result.
If we, collectively as a human race and planet, do not make more of an effort to conserve our world's precious resources, we may not have them for much longer. It is our right, our responsibility, to keep our world clean for generations to come. We invite you to join us as we paint our way toward a brighter future for energy and humanity.